Do you want to know how you can generate your own SVGs from pictures for absolutely free and in a matter of minutes? You should definitely check this out. My name is Mia and I am the laser files designer behind Mima Design Laser Files. And I want to show you this very cool app that you can download and turn real photos into SVGs. You could later then use them for keychains or anything else. If you want to learn how I did this one, I have another tutorial ready on my channel for you to watch. I will, however, also make some more tutorials, if you like, on how to make other final projects using these SVGs that we are going to create now. I discovered this software app a few years ago, but I recently discovered that they had upgraded it very much. So what you want to do is go to your app store and find VectorQ by Engine. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correct. When you open it, it will look like this. So I already played a little around, so I have some recent photos. You'll probably not have any. You can use this on iPad. I usually use my phone, but it will be easier for me to show you how it works on the iPad. So I'll also be using a pencil just so you don't lose whatever I'm going to show you, because my fingers are a little thicker. But what you want to do is go to Vectorize Photo, and you can see I have already played around with it. So you want to pick a picture that you would like. For my son, he did this little selfie series, so he actually did some more, so let me just grab this. When you open up your photo, you will see that it's already traced. The background is removed. You can toggle it off or on by clicking on this one. It's not brilliant for removing the background. As you see, my little dog is behind him here, and when I remove the background, he'll still be here. There is a way to fix this, or you could go to Canva or a background remover or something else and remove the background manually. Also, when you import your pictures, the more light you have, like his hair, that's really blonde, you might lose some details on the lighter areas. So you could go in and adjust your picture before uploading it to VectorQ, and then it will give you a better result. I'm actually going to head home and choose this one instead, because I know the light on this picture of me, my son and my husband is really great at the light. So once you have your picture, I'm going to remove the background. You just hit Vectorize. And you can see immediately it's actually somewhat how I want it to be. So when you open or take a photo, it will start as these four options. Sorry, I'm Danish. So what I want to do is take stylize. I could choose outline, and I could turn up and down the details and the threshold, but this is not really what I'm aiming for. So I'll use stylize, and again you can use details. If you toggle the details way down, it will have this blurry image. If you toggle it way up, it will get all the details, wrinkles and everything else. Morphing will make it a little rough looking if you turn it to 0. If you turn it way up, it will kind of melt down your lines. So I will adjust this to around 40, I think. Edges level will either increase the amount of edges or decrease the amount of edges. Also, a great thing that I forgot is that you can turn the back color off and on here. So I'll set it on because then it will be easier for you to see how this looks like. So I'll go ahead and make some more edges again. I think I'll be around here. The edges umbral will either darken your image and darken all the shadows from the original picture, or they'll remove them. So you can't remove them entirely, but pretty close. So I think mine will do great here. Freckles. We are actually back to the wrinkles, but this is kind of opposite. So if you have freckles set to 0, it will remove some of your details. If you turn it up, sorry, other way around. If you have it to 0, it will add all freckles. If you turn it way up, it will remove them. So I want mine to be around 4, I think. So you can play around with these toggle functions until you feel like you have the SVG that you're aiming for. You also have a lot of preset functions. So let me just show you how it would look. This is pure vector. Recolor noir. Ink is also great when you want to make these portrait looking SVGs, because you can go in and alter your image a little more here. So I can make my strokes thicker or thinner. I think around here would be nice. And I can add more and less details. Another thing is that if you go to options, you'll have the ability of checking advanced interface on for this. Also optimize paths, and I always choose save preset once I have the preset as I want, because odds are that the next image that I'm going to import will have almost the same settings. So in here you have some more that you can play around with. You can tune your image, choose levels, normalize, and edges. I think I might have to make just a little more edges and freckles. So also you can clean the path. There's a threshold here. You have an option here that says triangle size. I'm not sure what that is. Outlines and hatching. This one is actually pretty cool, because if you wanted to have this look like a SVG with colors in it, but you know when you're laser cutting you can only use black and white SVGs, you could turn on hatching. What this will do, whoops, wrong button. What this will do is that you can go down here and pick, why is it not showing? Oh, you have to turn on the path color. But it will go in everywhere that I had shade on my pictures and add these either straight lines or cross lines, zigzag or drawn doodle kind of lines. And I'll just make them a little bigger so you can see. So something like that. And you can just play around with these as much or as little as you want. So this is actually pretty cool because you would be able to choose this to be another color. Let's say, let's just make pink. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, blue. I'll just toggle this on. So if I were to save this as an SVG now, I have two colors and it will separate these two colors when I'm importing. So I could use the black color to engrave and then I could score all these blue lines if I wanted. So I actually made a picture that's hanging in my wall in our Danish home with something similar to this. But enough talk and more showing. You can play around with this in so many ways. And I really love this app because this is free, guys. Let's just see, where did I outlines? There we go. I'll just turn them off again because I will save this as is. So I'll go to share and I pick SVG. I can save it as a JPEG or a PNG, SVG, PDF or VQE. I think that's their own file format. But I'll go ahead and save it as a SVG. It only gives me the opportunity to open it in a piece of software. I don't have any laser software on my iPad. Or I can email it to myself. So I always choose email. Oh, and you have to upgrade to be able to do this. Okay, I wasn't going to talk about the upgrade until later, but it's free to do all of this. But if you want to use some other functions that I haven't gone through to yet, and also if you want to save it as an SVG, you have to make this single purchase. So this is 69 kroner, I'm Danish, but this converts to about 10 US dollars. So it's really inexpensive. I did purchase mine a long time ago. So I'll just restore my purchase and I can now show you. So just enter your email and I'll find my keyboard. Enter your email and hit send. And you can now open up your SVG in whatever software you're using. I'll restore my purchase, so I'll just do this again. And I actually think I lost. So let's take this picture with my son instead and show you how to erase this. So again, I'll remove my background, choose Vectorize, and I will go ahead and just do a little. I'll choose Stylize, and I think we are good to go here. So before this crashed, I was showing you the different options. So the ink option is what I would prefer to use for, sorry, I just had a cold. What I would prefer to use for making SVGs for engraving. But there's a ton of other possibilities. You have grays, outlines, plastic, pre-shades, and reductor. I think about now, these are paid options, so if you haven't paid for these, you don't have access to them. But I'll just show you. This one I really like because it looks like a ball pen, and it will go in and add this crazy little sketch. You could turn the color to black instead. Let's just see if I can find outlines. And you could actually make this an SVG as well. So you have color and hatch, you have tessellate, circles, stone, simple vector. So there's a ton of possibilities on how you could change your picture. The ones that are just two colors are what you would usually use if you want to create SVG files. Or you could also use the grayscale and then image engrave. Oh, and this is nice, it's actually saving my presets down here. So let's go ahead and use this one. I'll show you now how you could remove this, because another cool thing about this is that if you go to editor, you actually have the ability to edit your SVG directly in this free app. So I'll hit the eraser and then I can just erase my dog from his hand. I'll just zoom in, and that's similar to Procreate, and if you use something like that, you just pinch with 2 fingers and then you can zoom in and out. So let's see if I can make it just like that. So she's gone. I actually think I forgot a finger, so if I just... I don't think his finger will be visible anyway. So an alternative way to do this is to remove the background in another piece of software, because this will probably look a little crazy. Yes, I'm just going to remove it like this. So there's my SVG. You have the option to go in and pick paths and so much other stuff in here as well. Let's see if I can show you. So you can actually, if you use your arrow, you can see that you can move around. So if you had 2 SVGs, I imagine that you could add them together. You could color in backgrounds, add shapes, you could even add some text somehow. I haven't experimented with this part of the app yet, so I can't really show you yet how to do this. But if you know how to do it, please let me know down in the comments. But once you have it as you want, you can hit share up here again and you can send it as an SVG. You have to open it if you have laser software on wherever you're opening the app, or you can email it to yourself. And if you want, you could go in and make some more changes in your software. Let's close this one, because I wanted to show you another really cool thing about this. So let me just see. Here's actually the picture that I was referring to from the cross hatching. So this is my baby boy and our beagle dog, also made in this. All these lines are scored and everything outlined is engraved. But I draw a lot in Procreate as well, and I actually have a tutorial on how I manually drew my first house in Procreate. This is our Danish home, and I want to show you how crazy fast it is to trace houses in VectorQ. So let's remove the background, and I obviously don't need my sketch up here. So I now have my house, and I'll just use Vectorize. So you see immediately, let's just turn the back on, how well this actually works. So I'll go in and take all the details, maybe add a little morphing, edges level. Now let's see how close I can get it. I think this is pretty good. So let's see if I can, maybe if I use the ink instead. Now let's add some more details over here. And you can actually see that it's, by turning down my style, it's actually going to warp my lines and roof. And you could take this image, it's still missing some lines and details that you can't recreate in this, but I have the basic outline, and I could take this image, import it to Procreate or whatever type of drawing software you're using, Adobe Illustrator or something like that, and you could then finish off this sketch. But VectorQ just did the main job for me right here. If you want me to make a tutorial on how I would finish this off, please drop a comment below, because I would like to show you, but I think this video is pretty long already. But there's a lot of possibilities and options with this little free app. So if you're not already using it or familiar with it, make sure you download it and just play around with it. As said, it's free, so you can play around with it and just delete it again if you don't like the results. If you have any questions at all, make sure to drop a comment below. Also, if you make something in this app or from my other videos, I would be very happy if you wanted to share your finished projects in my Facebook group, Lace Up with Mimo Design, or just use the hashtag MimoHelps. That will help me to be able to see what you made, and I'd love to see it. Also, if you're interested in more tutorials on this subject, I am going to make one on how to use your SVG stuff and turn them into this keychain. That's the first. If you have other requests on tutorial or how-tos, please also drop a comment below, and I love to help and teach. So with that said, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and I hope to see you soon.